And good night and welcome to the Jackson Christian Football Recap Show. Coach Joe Holloway here along with my co-host. You see him every week, Brian Bullard, the man that's going to bring you some basketball this year too. He always gives me a look-see when I say that. But we've got a great show tonight. Two fine young men. We got stats for you. We got people to talk about. We got awards to give out. We're going to talk about next week's game. We're going to lead off. But, Coach, take it away.
Coach, we're happy to be here again at Hub City. Enjoyed the smash burger tonight, Coach.
Yes.
Switched it up a little bit. Very good burger here at Hub City Deli. And we have Coach Phillips here back again with us, our defensive coordinator. And then we have Liam Cox and Chilton Smith that we'll hear from later. But first, I want to just give it over to Coach Phillips. Coach, great defensive effort against FACS. I'm going to read some stats here. -5 rushing yards allowed, 0 first downs, a block punt, 5 tackles for loss, 6 points allowed, and 73 total yards. And, Coach, tell us how our defense was able to produce those kind of numbers.
Well, we went into the game. I mean, you know, our game plan on Sunday was just try to be simple and do what we do. And we actually had a couple other things that we were going to do. And then on Monday we scratched those. And we just said, you know what, let's be simple. What are our guys best at? And we kind of thought, like the old saying, players over plays, and just let our guys get out there and play defense a little bit. The one thing that I was excited about, I've never been a part of a team coaching-wise that's blocked a punt. And I remember on Wednesday I talked to Coach Palmer and I said, I think we can go get one if we try. And so we drew it up, and Campbell Scott went and got us one. And I thought for a second Caleb Newsom might take it to the house. But that was exciting to get a block punt.
Speaking on that, tell us what goes into preparing to block a punt, preparing to scheme up a team on special teams. How did we find out that maybe we have a chance at that?
So when I watched FACS and their punt team, one thing I noticed was the punter was a little bit deeper than normal, which made me curious into why he was doing that. And then I saw the snaps kind of floating back there. And so you got that extra space that the snap has to travel, and with the kind of lob in it, I thought if we sent somebody off the edge, we might have a shot. And then, you hope at that point that you can occupy some blocks inside, and that's exactly what Caleb did. We told Caleb, you're not trying to go block it. We want you to shoot through the middle, occupy those 3 blocks, and let Campbell go off the edge. And both of those guys did exactly what they were supposed to. It was great. Campbell got the credit for the block, but right. Caleb did just enough to get him there.
And then he scooped it, right? And almost took it to the house.
Well, he had 2 chances in that ball. He had one that he was going to the house. And
he hadn't lived that one down yet.
His eyes got about as big as 2 footballs, and unfortunately it hit the ground.
Yeah.
So tell us some guys that stood out to you on the defensive side of the ball Friday.
I think you have to start in the middle with Tacker and Chance. Every single game, those 2 guys, it seems like they've just gotten better and better at their reads and getting over blockers. And Coach Reichert has done a great job with those inside linebackers. And then, we've talked a lot about Caleb, but Wyatt Jones has really stepped up this year. I mean, this summer, Wyatt started inside, if I remember right. Mm-hmm. And we were kind of like, man, Carson Holt went down, and we said, let's move Wyatt to an outside linebacker. And at one point we were going to even move him to strong safety. And I tell you what, every single time he has said, yes, sir, I'll do whatever it takes to get on the field. And he's kind of been another one of the leaders out there getting our defense lined up. And then I'll even brag on this guy because our defensive line this year has done a fantastic job. Chilton, who you're going to hear from later, has done a great job. He does exactly what he's asked to do every time. Carson McKee, Cedric Anderson, Brandon Bennett, and then we've even got some young guys, Skyland Staten, Ty Smith. Am I leaving anybody out that is real? I mean,
that's pretty much our depth right now on the defensive line, and we're fortunate enough to Carson goes both ways. Carson McKee goes both ways, and it's hard to get that kid off the field. But our 2 deep is pretty solid. And Sky even got a chance to get in there and play extended minutes on Friday, and that's big for him.
On some tackles of young men that doesn't get extended minutes. They just get a hit and run or a 2-play blow where they give somebody a chance to come and get their air. And I got excited about seeing some of those
And
kids.
Sky has been kind of our third down rusher that we put in, and so he got to play every down. And did some good things, and I gave him a hard time because he ran by that quarterback on the sack, and Chilton ended up cleaning up the sack. I said, Sky, you were there? He goes, Coach, I didn't see him. I had my eyes, and when I got my eyes up, I'd run past him. But that's a great effort from a freshman.
But he put pressure out.
He did, and he did it from, I think, a nose position, which he's an outside guy. He's not an interior guy. But when we have the big guys inside on third down, third and long, we like to kind of get some faster guys in there. Scheme-wise, and try to push pressure on the quarterback. So
absolutely, I thought the line, they're getting better every week. They're fighting. They're starting to get better separation with their hands instead of rooster fighting. And folks, excuse my terminology, but when you get in there and you play handsies and stuff, and you get each person, they can hold jerseys obviously on offense as long. But when you can just hit them or take them and throw them and get rid of them and get penetration, you're doing very good.
Absolutely.
I got to ask about this to Coach, and then we'll give it back to Coach Bull. You had to prepare for some crazy stuff because, let's be honest, against USJ they showed double H-backs or double wings, and they went unbalanced and all that. I thought their attack was actually more sane and attentive the way they attacked y'all with a good game plan, but it didn't faze us. And I've never, in all the years I've called or coached football, seen a game, even in middle school, with no first downs.
Yeah. I think we got late into the third, and I was thinking it, and I almost said something, but I kind of went back to, like, baseball. Like, maybe I shouldn't talk about that because then as soon as you mention it, we'll give up a first down. And then at the end of the game, that was kind of one of the first things I wanted to check and see because I think I'm with you. I don't know if I've ever been a part of a game where a team has done that.
It was a great effort defensively, but we had a great effort offensively. I still think, and I have clipped it and I've got it saved where I can look at it separately, the pass from Gage Boykin to Walker Ray for 33 yards and a touchdown was probably as nice a play. I've done Jackson Christian football for 3 years, and we've had some great plays. We've had some great catches. But what a really fine catch and throw-in catch.
And that's part of our notes we have. And Gage did a good job of staying in the pocket. And I think he took a pretty good hit, on the play. But Walker got separation from his defensive back and went up and made a good play. Speaking on our offense, Coach, let's go ahead and talk about Walker. He did everything. We talk about it every week, and we talk about all the positions he plays. But his line in this game, 2 for 3 passing. He came in kind of late and ran the offense, rushed for a touchdown, and then caught that 33-yard touchdown that you're speaking about right now. And, a senior that we can put all over the field, and he's producing for us. Cam Boyd, and he's a staple in our offense. 2 rushing touchdowns, tied with Johnny Williams for fourth single season rushing touchdowns with 15. And Johnny Williams was a really good running back a few years ago, and yes. I think ended up maybe playing a little football at Austin Peay.
He did go to Austin Peay, and I know he played in that first year. I don't know how long he was out. I've checked with my buddy Seabass, who played at Austin Peay also.
Absolutely. And then, he's passing some good company here with Nathan Nash. We've talked about him on the show.
Oh, yes.
And then Noah Chandler had 14 touchdowns in 2010. And I got to coach Noah in baseball, but I have heard and seen a little bit of film, and Noah was a really good quarterback at Jackson Christian. So Cam's in some great company there, and hopefully he can keep building on those numbers. And it's not about the individual stats, but that is good company to be in.
It really is, because behind us, Liam Cox is one of those men that makes those good stats happen. It's a team game at Jackson Christian.
Absolutely, and Liam's not going to have a stat line as an offensive lineman, but we have it right here that our team has rushed for almost 1,800 yards through 7 games, and he has a lot to do with that, and we'll speak on him specifically, not take too much right now to talk about him. But, I mean, our game plan going in is to run the football, control the clock, and that's what we've been able to do in most of our games. And even in the 2 losses, we still were able to get some production. Just weren't able to get the job done.
Coach, before we take our first break, each one of you take a summation of what a fine game it was. But let's all be honest, that one's history. We enjoyed the win, but we've had to move on this week. So it's y'all's turn to sum up last week's game.
I mean, we've already talked about defensively how well we played. And I guess, like you said, moving forward, I want to see us carry. We know we're probably not going to get a stat line like that every week. But it's okay. It's okay to aim for some of those and try to repeat it every now and then. But I think the main thing that we've preached this week on defense is the same thing. Do our job and just focus in. And I know one thing that we stress all the time is just getting lined up. And if we get lined up, we got guys who can make plays, and that's what they did last week. They were in the right spot, and those guys made plays. We can call all the stuff we want, but at the end of the day, they got to make tackles. They got to make blocks, and our guys, they did a fantastic job doing that Friday night.
They did. I think the form tackling has improved. It really has. You go back and watch the film on this, and talking about lining up is kind of funny because a good friend of mine, Bud Young, and I have watched a team that will remain nameless, a high school team that could not get lined up and got beat umpteen something to 6, but the 6 was because the 8th graders from the junior high was in for the school that won that game. And your kids are usually in the right spot, and if they're not, they are scurrying. They don't walk to get there; they scurry to get there. And I know Coach defensive lineman, they were something else. Got after it, Coach. Just a couple of quick thoughts before we take a break.
Absolutely. And speaking on defense, just another second or two, but Coach Phillips is a great guy at simplifying things and a great coach at simplifying things. And I think that he's made it not simple, but is as simple as we can make it for these guys to play fast. And we haven't tried to reinvent a game plan each week. When we look at the film, what does our defense look like against their formations, and how can we play the most sound defense? And he does a good job with that. And we talked about our guys getting us lined up in the back of the secondary, our linebackers getting our defensive linemen lined up. All those things all go together. One thing I'm proud of, Coach, is Cam had 2, and that's a staple in our offense. Yeah. Jay had 1, that's a staple. Walker having 2 touchdowns, but then we got. He would be mad at us if we didn't mention Wyatt Jones catching the 1-yarder there to start the game and getting the toes in on the sideline.
The silent assassin.
And that's a guy that wants the ball. He knows his job is to block, but we were able to kind of scheme up a little goal line play there, and everybody was pumped to see Wyatt catch that ball. And part of you doesn't want him to do it because he's going to talk about it for the rest of his life, which is okay. But that was awesome to see. And we spread the ball around. We had guys stepping up, making plays. Cooper Banky. Coop has been battling that ankle injury. I think he had a touchdown on the ground as well. And hopefully going forward, Coop can be a bigger part of our offense because he adds another dimension that we've been missing for a while. I wanted to make sure we touched on him. So all in all, great team effort. We're able to come out after wait until 8:30 to play a football game, which you wonder how that's going to – we didn't even talk about that, but you wonder how that's going to affect your team. And our guys showed maturity. And you come out and it's kind of dead and quiet because it's 8:30. You feel like it should be halftime already. And I thought we did, jumped up on them a little bit and really were able to extend the lead and get some young guys in. And so that's a big thing because you wonder what's going to happen. And our guys responded and came out and played well.
Don't forget Zach Cisco with 4 touchbacks.
Yeah.
Yes, I was going to ask you, is that a great weapon to help your defense?
Oh, man. Anytime we can put it in the end zone on kickoff, that obviously helps. So for him to do that 4 times, and I think we were even saying one of them was in the second half against the wind, which was really impressive. So
it was, considering the amount of wind that was blowing at the time he kicked it. And Zach's just a sophomore, people. The leg is going to get stronger, and he goes and takes lessons every week, even though he's a pretty fair kicker right now. Yeah. He is working we will have an all-state kicker, I think, in a couple of years.
I believe that as well.
Absolutely. Folks, we are at Hub City Deli. It's the Jackson Christian Football Recap Show. Coach Phillips is here. Coach Bullard is here. We've got a couple of young special guests over there, plus our 2 older special guests. And one of these nights, we're going to have to get them on the air. I think there's a young lady that would love to talk on the air, and we may get her. We've been trying to get we have to get your wife to come on. Darby's wife wants to come on. He won't let her come on. But we're going to get Coach, leave that letter. You want to say something on the radio?
Hey, Pop may be listening. Do you want to say hey to Pop?
Well, I think sometimes when the mic gets close to you, you get a little. And anyway, we want to say hello to the grandparents. Smash Burger, several of us have had that. But, folks, there's the Cuban sandwich, the Hub City Burger. I'm waiting for the Piggy Sue.
I don't even know if it exists, Coach. You've been talking about
it. I know. I'm looking for it.
I'm waiting on it.
It was here a couple of weeks ago, and I forgot to tell you about it. 2 grilled pork chops. Special sauce, all of it will melt in your mouth.
That sounds amazing.
It is amazing. Right here, Hub City Deli. They're on Pleasant Plains Extended. They support this program. We're going to start out with our first timeout being a 3-minute timeout, and when we come back, we'll have one of our fine young men.
27 years ago, a vision became a reality and Snookum Steakhouse officially opened. We cut our steaks in-house and our ribeyes are full of flavor. The steak trimmings are used to make our certified Angus beef steak burgers, so when you order at Snookum's, you are getting high quality. Enjoy our salad bar and mini dessert. Also try our famous family recipe, the Pink Lush Fruit Salad. Come visit Snookum Steakhouse in Henderson, Tennessee. We are open evenings Tuesday through Saturday but closed Sunday and Monday. Snookum Steakhouse, come taste the difference.
Great American Sports, make sports an addiction. Located at 125B Old Hickory Boulevard, East in Jackson. We specialize in teen sports for youth leagues, schools, and churches. We can embroider and screen print team uniforms. We also have sports equipment, Under Armour and Adidas clothing, and anything else you need for your teen sports. You can email or call us for all your teen sports needs. Great American Sports, make sports an addiction.
This could be a true story. On October 3rd, a 2003 hatchback struck and killed a deer that goes by the name Buck. I know, right? He now has Buck's head proudly displayed on his living room wall. He tells a different story.
Shot it.
No, he didn't.
And to hide his lie, he took his car to Mitchell's Body Shop.
No, I didn't.
Yes, he did. And lucky for him, they made it look good as new. And as for Buck, the story continues.
Hello, folks. This is Gary Deaton, right here at Deaton's Carpet One. I want to let you know we've been in business for 48 years. Here's what I believe has made the difference. Our lifetime labor warranty on everything we install. Our healthy living installation, bacteria and germs cannot survive in our new flooring. Our beautiful guarantee, if you don't just love it, we'll replace it. It will make your flooring experience priceless. We're located on Freedom Highway, 1000 Highway 45 bypass in good old Jackson, Tennessee.
At Lonnie Cobb Ford, we now give you a warranty for life on the engine and transmission. That's right, a warranty for life at no cost to you. Unlimited time, unlimited mileage, but it's only at Lonnie Cobb Ford in Henderson, where cars really are cheaper in the country. At Lonnie Cobb Ford, we now give you a warranty for life on the engine and transmission. That's right, a warranty for life at no cost to you. Unlimited time, unlimited mileage, but it's only at Lonnie Cobb Ford in Henderson, where cars really are cheaper in the country. At Lonnie Cobb Ford, we now give you a warranty for life on the engine and transmission. That's right, a warranty for life at no cost to you. Unlimited time, unlimited mileage, but it's only at Lonnie Cobb Ford in Henderson, where cars really are cheaper in the country. Buying a car is all about you. In person, over the phone, or online, we make it simple and easy. Our place is yours, no matter where you live. LonnieCobbFord.com or Lonnie Cobb Ford in Henderson, where cars really are cheaper in the country.
Welcome to Man's Wrecker Service. We offer a wide array of services. We are dedicated towing professionals, experienced in both simple and complicated towing services. We offer light and heavy-duty off-road recovery, auto and heavy-duty towing, load shift and load transfer capabilities, and much more. We are equipped to handle any situation, no matter how big or how small. Call today at 731-424-2173.
And welcome back to the Jackson Christian Football Recap Show, where we are at Hub City Deli here on Pleasant Plains Extended. Great sandwiches, great food. They've got the TVs here. Even saw my buddy from the station, Brad McCoy. The real McCoy was here earlier tonight and got his food. Came by and said something. But we are fixing to do our interview part here. And at Jackson Christian, it's more than a game. Now, that's not me with wise thinking. That's on their website, but they back it up. The purpose of Jackson Christian School Athletics is to build faith in Jesus Christ and to lead our student athletes into a closer walk with God the Father. It's the best school I know of for training people to do the right thing, and there are so many success stories, one of them being Nathan Nash himself in Southern Family Dentistry. He's an old football player. I made you old, didn't I, Nathan? Nathan listens, and we still tease him. Tacker says he can outrun him. And our first guest, I'm going to let Coach introduce him, but he's kind of special to me, even though he didn't know it because of his grandfather. But, Coach, it's your turn.
Coach, we have our first guest tonight, Mr. Liam Cox, offensive lineman for us. And I'm going to repeat these stats again just to talk about the line that he's a part of. Team has rushed for almost 1,800 yards through 7 games, averaging 255 yards a game. And this guy, if you look at him, you're not going to be intimidated. You're not going to think of maybe a physical specimen right away. But the way he plays the game, I don't know that I've seen an offensive lineman. I've been coaching 8 years. I think this is my 8th year of coaching football. And I don't know that I've seen an offensive lineman play as hard as Liam. And that's a testament to his work ethic, and he's had to wait around. He hasn't been playing as big a role as he normally would like to probably, but this year he's gotten the opportunity, and he's held on to it. He's taken it by the horns, and he's having a great year, part of a great offensive line for us. So Liam Cox.
He really did, and last year you were behind a solid senior line. There were no juniors, and so you didn't, but you made the best of it. What about your form, though? It's one of the best. You have great technique, and how did you get that?
Honestly, just the coaches, mainly Coach Reichard. I had to rely on technique since my size, so that's a big part of my game.
And what Coach Bullard told you, Liam, and Liam, if I call you Brian, forgive an old man. I taught his uncle, and a long time ago, probably longer than Brian wants to admit. But your technique has to be special because you're not even as big as I am as far as the height of mine is not good, but I got you outweighed a little bit and some bulk. And so it's got to be all technique and heart. And anything special you do before game? Because I say he grades out quite high on the films. What do you do special to make that happen?
Honestly, I kind of just keep to myself, listen to music, and pray, and then just kind of hang out with my teammates. Nothing really too special, but
no lucky socks or anything like
no, sir.
that. That's good because my mother wanted me to change those socks after wearing them about 6 years in a row from 7th grade up, and they did get washed. But we were teasing with him. Let's meet you up close and personal. What are some of your hobbies? Because people want to know the real Liam Cox. Because I understand you're personable at school, but you just not, you don't sound like Foghorn Leghorn on the old cartoons and stuff. People want to know about you.
Well, I love playing video games and just hanging out with my friends. Just kind of just simple, honestly. There's nothing really too special about me.
Favorite subject at school?
It's got to be history.
History, that's good. Who's your favorite teacher? Remember, it cannot be one of the football coaches.
It's got to be Miss Baker. She just always intrigues me.
She gets a lot of attention, and a lot of people have mentioned. We've got a great faculty, don't we?
We do.
Most fun part of school outside of athletics?
Well, I would say lunch, but that's kind of.
No, that's a good thing. Listen, I've been tempted to come and eat lunch with y'all.
Yes,
I heard
sir.
about the food that gets brought in and stuff like that, what y'all do. That's an excellent answer. Don't ever doubt a good answer like that. You can tell I don't miss many meals either. But, Liam, when did you start playing football?
I played 5th and 6th grade, but I didn't play through middle school, which is something I really regret because I was playing baseball then. But then I started back my freshman year because I had Coach P for 8th grade baseball, and I just loved him as a coach. So I just followed him to football.
Which one's your favorite, football or baseball?
Football.
Football. Okay.
Sir.
And I understand one time you pretty good baseball player.
I was, but I just fell in love with the game of football. so I kind of just wanted to focus on it.
It is a great game,
really
and we love all our sports at Jackson Christian. We got a fine girls soccer team. They did not make the state this year, but they had a great season. I got to do one of their games. Felt very good. They had a big win in that one. They shut the other team out.
Yes,
I believe
sir.
we had a 4-0 win, which, that's 4-0 win in soccer is about like us winning 49-0 or 49-6 somewhere in that area. You play with some unique guys. None of y'all got to start last year. Presley moved in, and he got hurt, which we hate.
Sir.
Eli has stepped in. What's the camaraderie like? What's it like amongst you guys?
Well, a lot of us have been playing scout team together, so we kind of already have that chemistry going. But Eli Gay, he's really stepped up. I can't be more proud of him.
And Presley is too.
Yeah.
Presley, that shows you what type guy Presley is. Matter of fact, he's been trying to help coach a little bit.
Yes, sir.
And what's your favorite drill in football?
Inside run, for sure.
Oh, I love that. That's good. That's good. I like this guy.
Yeah.
He knows what.
He's self-aware. He knows.
Yeah. Two favorite foods, your school favorite food at lunch, and then away from school, what's your favorite food?
I love Mexican, so in school it's got to be Crispitos, and out of school it's burritos all the way.
Oh, okay. I can believe that. And we won't call names of other restaurants, but I bet you eat at the same Mexican restaurant I do, because they're also one of our school sponsors.
Absolutely.
And, Coach, you got a couple of questions for Liam before I hit him again with another barrage?
I think for me, and seeing him grow and seeing him kind of flourish in this role this year, Liam, how have you been able to stay ready and to kind of wait on your opportunity with a good attitude and all those things and being a good teammate? How have you been able to do that?
God, that's a tough question, but I know my time will come. That's kind of just something I kept telling myself, and just try to get the guys that are starting now, try to get them better during practice.
Absolutely, and what he just mentioned is a huge thing, and we call it a scout team, but really it's just our backups and our third string guys that give effort every day to try to run the same kind of scheme that we're going to see offensively and defensively. And if without those guys, you don't get the looks that you might possibly see on a Friday night. And he, like he said, he's done a great job. He's also battled through a couple injuries here and there when we thought he'd be able to contribute and had some setbacks. And these are the kind of stories, and I'm not going to call it a story, but this is the kind of thing you love to see as a coach. Sometimes we have kids that run away from it, that I'm not getting what I think I should get, and so they go do something else. But this kid has stuck it out, and we wouldn't be where we are, sitting at 6-2 without him, and just proud of this guy.
Well, I am too. He is a shining example of all good things come with time and patience.
Yes, sir.
And I have a feeling, Lee, and you really believe that, don't you?
I do.
Or he wouldn't have waited it out, because you're right. He had to wait a long time, and it takes a special person. Now, you've told us your favorite subject and your favorite teacher. When you go to college, what's going to be the field of study or what area you want to study, and what do you want to be? If you don't play NFL football, and I always ask about that. If you don't play NFL football, what are you going to do?
I've always wanted to be a veterinarian. I just love animals, so if I can help them any way I can, that's what I want to do.
Absolutely. Now, that probably pleases your grandfather. And folks, I guess I better tell off on inside jokes are not fun when you're listening and watching to hear about. But his grandfather's Dr. Charles Cox. I caught a baseball in the face one time instead of with my glove. Well, I wasn't paying attention to what happened. And Dr. Cox had to put my nose back together. He reconstructed it. It actually looks better than my original nose, and because I had no nose after that baseball hit me. And I know he's very proud of you. He's a great man as far as I'm concerned. I knew him when Brian was in a school that doesn't exist anymore, in the Episcopal Day School. But he's a great person. Anything you want to say to your grandfather?
Well, my grandfather and my grandma, they're a real big part of my lives. So I'm just happy that out there in Jackson I can go see them whenever I want, because they've really grown me spiritually throughout my life.
Absolutely. Great people. Who are some of your heroes, both sports heroes, and they don't have to be heroes like dashing into a burning building, but people that have inspired you both in sports and away from sports?
In sports, my favorite player is Quentin Nelson, but out of sports, it's my dad.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That is fantastic. I know more about your uncle, but your dad, a great guy too, and he has helped over the years. And you have such a good attitude about things. So you can even tell right here. Is that a big factor in winning, not only for you but for your fellow linemen? Because it's almost like y'all are a unit and everybody's on the same page.
Yeah, I mean, of course our team's a family, but like the O-line, we're kind of just our own group that we're just so tight because the coaches held a cookout for us over fall break and kind of just hung out, and it's just, yeah, we just have a great chemistry together.
That is great. Now, what's your favorite Bible verse?
1 Timothy 4:12.
That is a very good. You know, all of our young men, and they pick verses that are good, that have meaning, and say something. Coach, you got any questions for Liam?
I don't have anything else for him. I knew he would. You know, we don't really have a formula for picking who comes on the show. It's just kind of we kind of go down and just see, you know, what kind of games people did have, and maybe some guys that haven't had an opportunity to speak yet. And Liam came to mind, and I knew he would come on and represent us well, and that's what he's done tonight.
Well, he always represents us well. Liam, I do have to ask you this. I got a text from a friend. They want to know, how do you hold legally, and anybody, is that something you acquire on your own? And folks, before you get the wrong idea about that, as long as you don't get your arms outside of your shoulders and stuff, you can now keep those hands in there and get you a big old handful of jersey.
Yes, sir. So you kind of just got to keep them real tight and just hands inside the chest and just don't let the ref see it. So.
And you want to control them, right?
Sure. Yes, sir.
And what else do you love? I'm going to ask that about your football team. Besides, we're winning. You got great camaraderie in the offensive line, but I see a team. I just like hanging around you guys.
Yeah, it really is. Kind of just during practices. I mean, it's always just real good vibe.
Real good vibe. That sounds great. It's your turn to say anything to the not only Jackson Christian fans, but Moose Henry's listening up in Kingsport. I know that for a fact. There's people in Gatlinburg that said they were going to listen tonight. Darby's parents always are listening, and they support the school well, even though they live in Arkansas. Coach's wife may be listening. What do you want to say to all those people?
Thank y'all for everything. Seriously, we feel your energy on the field, and we really cannot thank y'all enough.
Absolutely. There he is, a fine young man. Come and watch him. Single him out in the streaming that we've got, and we do stream all our games. They're archived on Worthy Road Studios our YouTube page. They're archived there at the school on the Facebook page. But watch that offensive line work. Watch them work, and you will see some really fine guys doing a job that doesn't get enough thanks. We'll be back after a 2-minute timeout, with more from Hub City Deli, and Chilton Smith will be our next guest. A 2-minute timeout.
We are a team composed of highly skilled physical therapists with new school treatment approaches and old school customer service principles. We are a community presence because we know our foundation rests in relationship building and involvement. We are leaders in this industry, and we're putting in time daily to develop that aspect of thinking. We're more than a business. We're a team composed of individuals governed by a set of core values. We're more than a physical therapy company. We're a movement in the profession. We are your premier physical therapy team in West Tennessee.
Southern Family Dentistry's dental laser technology is a game changer for those who experience dental anxiety. Just imagine, no more drills. Look at some of Dr. Nathan Nash's patient results. We provide a relaxing environment to ensure a pleasant visit every time. From a simple cleaning to a full dental reconstruction. And now, prepless veneers. We're there when you need us. Dr. Nathan Nash will treat your family just like he wants his family treated. Check them out on Facebook to see all those loving smiles. Call 300-4545. Southern Family Dentistry, we want to make you smile.
Hello, I'm Wes Harris with State Farm Insurance. My customers love the fact that they can call me or my team members anytime. So when they're in an accident on the bypass with somebody that doesn't have insurance, or they come out of the grocery store and somebody's backed into their car and has not left a note, or they come home and there's a tree on the roof, or maybe water pouring out their front door, they call a local agent, somebody that they know. So call me, Wes Harris, with State Farm Insurance, located right here on Van Drive in Jackson.
Men, there's a new salon in Jackson, Race Clips, on South Highland, next door to Roland Safety and Supply. Whether it's a quick trim or a new look, Race Clips stylists can transform you to perfection. At Race Clips, you'll find all the products to keep you looking your best. Active duty military, veterans, and law enforcement officers receive a discount. Open Monday through Friday from 9 to 6, 9 to 3 on Saturday. Race Clips on South Highland, Jackson. Go to race-clips.com.
Jackson Christian Football Wrap-Up Show is brought to you by Hub City Deli and also the other fine sponsors. Please come by and see these folks. If you miss out, I forgot to even mention the soup of the day up there. They have soup of the day. They have a featured sandwich. You can get a half sandwich, soup, or side salad. The craft sandwiches on the left side of the board, there are so many that I can't even name them all. They got salads, they got wraps. Here's something that most delis don't have. They have hamburgers here. Now they have two kinds. The special featured sandwich this week is the smash burger. But they also have a burger that I enjoy called the Hub City Deli Burger. And I'm going to let Coach introduce our next guest, and he is a very special young man. I enjoy watching him play, and he can chase you down or he can block you a little bit, can't he, Coach?
Absolutely. Coach, our second guest, our player guest tonight is Chilton Smith. He's a junior for us, and I'm going to talk a little bit about his stat line. 16 total tackles and 3 tackles for loss. And this is a kid that similar to Liam in the fact that not going to overwhelm you with size and physical appearance, but plays harder than any defensive lineman that you're going to see. And he just keeps going and going and going. And he is committed to he has gotten bigger and stronger, as most of our kids have with Coach Irv. And we're going to try to get Coach Irv on and let him kind of pub that program here soon. Hopefully, he's a busy man. Hopefully we can have him on. But Chilton has gotten better every year and has played a little bit here and there and is now a full-time starter at our 5 technique position. And so he plays kind of outside, defensive end, a couple different ways you can look at that. So he's our outside guy. He's a guy that's taken on the counter, taking on pulls and really throwing his body around. And he does what he's coached to do, and he does it well, and he's getting better. And used to be you could kind of see he might be a guy that teams try to run at. And now I think they might be rethinking that a little bit, and they might be finding out that's a guy that they don't want to run at. And so he's getting better every game. I was watching him today in practice and watching his hands and all those things that you have to be a good defensive lineman, and he's getting better. So Chilton Smith is our second guest tonight.
And absolutely, before we meet Chilton up close and personal, Chilton, how important are those hands? We just talked about offensive linemen and their legalized holding, which is legal. How do you get rid of those guys?
Most of the time I just try to – sorry, I'm a little nervous. Most of the time I just try to swipe away the offensive lineman's hands and then get past them and go for whoever has the ball.
And I've got to ask you about Coach Irv since you've already introduced it into evidence. This young man, I can tell a difference from last year.
Absolutely.
How much fun you having in Coach Irv's weight program?
Coach Irv is a really good coach and a really good person. I have learned a lot about him, and he has helped me a lot in the weight room. I've got a whole lot stronger over the years while working with him.
I know that there's 2 linebackers that play behind you guys on the line. They appreciate everything you do because Tacker and Chance can't scrape into holes and stuff unless you do the job. And for people that don't know, and I don't know whether Chilton wants to explain that, but the techniques all have numbers. There's even a 0 technique. And in the old days, for all you old folks listening out there, the 59 technique was you had a 5 technique and a 9 technique by the defensive end. They know what we're talking about. You just learn how to play and whether you shade, heads up, etc. like that, right? Then whip the guy across from you.
Yes, sir.
And you do good at that.
And that's a huge I coach our defensive ends, and Coach Gillum, who is a non-faculty guy, coaches our interior guys, and he does a tremendous job with those guys as well. But we know, and these guys have bought into the fact that our two inside linebackers are pretty good football players.
Yeah.
And if they can stay unblocked and we can do our job, they're going to make a lot of plays. And in turn, when you do that, when you do what you're supposed to do, you end up finding the football. And so this guy, he's selfless in the fact that he's going to get hands on his guy, try to give our linebackers free runs at things, and then in the process he's starting to make plays.
And I'm seeing him drawing more double teams.
Absolutely. And there's something to be said for staying in there and taking on a 275-pound guard coming to kick you. Yeah. And you sometimes you don't know it's coming. And so there's a lot to be said for that. And like I said, he's done a tremendous job for us.
I've got to ask, as an old football coach, remember I coached before the spread was run much and things like that. When they come to double team, do you still turn the shoulder and get skinny and try to get through there?
Yeah, so you try to turn your shoulder and then attack one dude and then try to split him and get past him.
That's it.
This young man can coach.
He could, and all our guys could do that. Yep, that's exactly right, and he's learned it, and he's done a good job with it.
Absolutely. How long have you been at Jackson Christian School?
I've been since pre-K.
Wow. You're a veteran then.
Yes, sir.
Okay, what's your favorite subject at school now?
It'd probably have to be history.
It would be history. Now, favorite teacher can't be a football coach, and if you want to name 2 or 3, because since you've been at Jackson Christian, I know y'all have some great elementary teachers. Coach, it never gets mentioned, but you can mention 2 or 3 teachers.
My 2 would probably be Miss Baker and Mrs. Christensen.
Very good choices, and we love those ladies. We got a great faculty. Now, how long have you been playing sports at Jackson Christian?
I've started with PAL ball in about 4th grade, and then I started football when I was in 6th grade.
Any other sports you play at Jackson Christian?
I played baseball in, I think, 7th grade, and then I gave up because I wasn't too good at it.
Well, did Coach Darby make you do a little track, like maybe throw the shot or the discus or something like that?
Yes, sir. I threw discus for track.
That's not bad at all. Now, throw that. Not a pole vaulter by any chance, are you?
No, sir.
And I tease about that. You don't see many pole vaulters. We have it in high school here in Tennessee.
Yeah.
First of all, you got to have the pit and the right equipment.
Yeah.
It's something. I tried that one time. I missed the pit. But Chilton would do that. Chilton, put you on the spot. Which one you like better, offense or defense?
Defense for sure.
Yeah, like hitting people and tackling people.
Yes, sir.
And our defensive unit gets better every time we go out, doesn't it?
Yes, sir.
And that's something you brought that up. I'm glad you did. He's had to go in multiple times at guard at offensively and done a tremendous job. And that's not always easy. As you think you're going to get a little bit of rest on offense, and with injuries and with things that we've had to overcome, he's also plays a big role on offense as well.
He really does. And our offensive line, after nobody really getting any starts to speak of last year's all-senior line, they've come. And I think I ran into a couple of these seniors. They're really proud of what has happened, and no jealousy there. Favorite food at school and favorite food away from school?
Favorite food at school would probably be ham and cheese sliders. And favorite food outside of school is probably steaks.
There you go.
Nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely.
Now, this young man, he knows good food.
Yes, sir.
I may have to get you on Bass's food show sometime. What do you do to get ready for competition?
Usually I hang out with my friend Aiden Childress, and we just listen to music pregame.
Okay, that's a good thing. A good relaxing thing. A lot of athletes, I've even seen a few, and warm up with their headsets on, and I don't know whether that's good or bad. I have mixed emotions. I'm old school. Okay, favorite drill at practice, though?
It'd probably have to be an inside run, because on defense it's just really fun. I can't explain it. It's really nice.
It's exhilarating. It makes you happy. You know, every one of our kids have had a good favorite drill and things like that. You know what my favorite drill at practice was? Is Coach would have, kind of like you do at a game, he'd have our punter punt a ball towards the locker room, and we'd all sprint after the football and run onto the locker room.
Yep.
These young men, they're very thoughtful and make good. Do you want to play college football?
No, sir.
Okay. No. What are you going to major in college if you know right now?
I'm not sure yet.
Not sure yet. Any thoughts about a profession after college?
I'm probably going to be a meter technician with my stepdad.
Okay. And they do well, make great money, and it's a fun thing to do. Now, what are some hobbies that you had?
Outside of school, I like to fish, hunt, and ride fullers a lot. I'm a really outdoorsy person.
And Coach, I kind of monopolized time. You got any questions for Chilton?
No, I'm proud of Chill. Proud of him in football. Proud of him, off the field. But tonight, when I talked to him about being on, he kind of laughed, and I knew he'd be nervous, but he's done a tremendous job. This is not easy, and he's done a tremendous job and represented us well. And I'm excited to have him for one more year and just see what he can do. Finishing this year, and then obviously as a senior for us. So Chilton Smith, and he's a guy that's trusted the process and stuck with it, and it's paying off for him.
And he's improving, gets better all the
Absolutely.
time. Chilton, got a couple of last questions for you. First of all, it's the first time you've ever been on an interview or show like this.
Yes, sir, it is.
He has done well.
Mm-hmm.
He has done exceptionally well. It's not easy when you put that headset on for the first time. Secondly, your favorite Bible verse, because that's a very important thing to all of us at Jackson Christian.
Mine would probably be Psalms 56:3.
Do you read Psalms a lot? I do. I like Psalms.
Yes, sir.
It gives me a peace, and I know a lot of people that read Psalms in addition to their other readings. And, of course, now it's your turn. Say something if you want to say something. Oh, I know what I hadn't asked. Heroes, and it doesn't necessarily have to be athletes, etc., and people that's influenced your life.
My heroes were probably my grandfather and my stepdad. They were a big role in my life.
And a lot of influence and a lot of help, haven't they?
Yes, sir.
And it's your turn to say anything to the people, whether just come out and see us, whatever, but your turn to say something to them.
I just want to say thank you to all our fans. Y'all do more than what you think. And thank you to everyone that watches us on Friday nights.
Oh, absolutely. We've got a tremendous audience. Jackson Christian School's audience is building. We look at the numbers, and you're seeing on Jackson Christian's Facebook, Booster Club Facebook, Worthy Roads BallGame Blitz Facebook, then at WNWS.com, they see it. And right now, Jackson Christian is leading in the number of people watching, even on their Facebook and website. And when they can get us on, we are heard on 93.1. So you're playing in front of a big audience. This young man never fails to give you. I don't like to say people give more than 100%, but if a young man did, he'd be one of those pushing past the 100%.
Absolutely.
And it's kind of tough to say. We've got to take, I believe, one more timeout, and that one should be a 3-minute timeout. When we come back, Coach Phillips is going to be back. Coach Bullard's going to be back, and we're going to tell you about Friday night, and I'm excited about Friday night. You are listening to the Jackson Christian Football Recap Show from Hub City Deli.
Football looks fun. I bet I would have been great at it. The first football playing Deer, they would have made a movie about me and everything. Probably get Kurt Russell to play me. But alas, me and my dreams run right over again.
For fast, reliable collision repair, trust the experts at Mitchell's Body Shop. And get back out there.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Wes Harris in Jackson today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
27 years ago, a vision became a reality and Snookum Steakhouse officially opened. We cut our steaks in-house and our ribeyes are full of flavor. The steak trimmings are used to make our certified Angus beef steak burgers, so when you order at Snookums, you are getting high quality. Enjoy our salad bar and mini dessert. Also try our famous family recipe, the Pink Lush Fruit Salad. Come visit Snookums Steakhouse in Henderson, Tennessee. We are open evenings Tuesday through Saturday but closed Sunday and Monday. Snookums Steakhouse, come taste the difference.
Great American Sports. Make sports an addiction. Located at 125B Old Hickory Boulevard, East in Jackson. We specialize in teen sports for youth leagues, schools, and churches. We can embroider and screen print team uniforms. We also have sports equipment, Under Armour, and Adidas clothing, and anything else you need for your teen sports. You can email or call us for all your teen sports needs. Great American Sports. Make sports an addiction.
This could be a true story. On October 3rd, a 2003 hatchback struck and killed a deer that goes by the name Buck. I know, right? He now has Buck's head proudly displayed on his living room wall. He tells a different story.
Shot it.
No, he didn't.
And to hide his lie, he took his car to Mitchell's body shop.
No, I didn't.
Yes, he did. And lucky for him, they made it look good as new. And as for Buck, the story continues.
Hello, folks. This is Gary Deaton, right here at Deaton's Carpet One. I want to let you know we've been in business for 48 years. Here's what I believe has made the difference. Our lifetime labor warranty on everything we install. Our healthy living installation. Bacteria and germs cannot survive in our new flooring. Our beautiful guarantee. If you don't just love it, we'll replace it. It will make your flooring experience priceless. We're located on Freedom Highway, 1000 Highway 45 bypass in good old Jackson, Tennessee.
Often imitated but never duplicated is the Jackson Christian Football Recap Show with my two special co-hosts, really, Coach Phillips and Coach Bullard, and, of course, two great guests in Liam Cox and Chilton Smith. And we're good. Coach, we got a wrap-up here in a little bit, but we got plenty of time to do this. We've got a lot of noteworthy things that have happened in the past week and leading into this Friday night.
Yes, sir. Talking about the win against FACS, and clinching back-to-back winning seasons for the first time since 2007, 2008. And that's big for our program. That's a testament to our kids. That's a testament to even the kids from our seniors last year and the year before that have just kept working and kept trying to get better. And that's big for our program, and hopefully get back on track and where we want to be. And then Friday, Coach, we're going for win number 200 for our program.
Wow.
And that's, we're sitting at 199 right now, and that would be a big milestone win, and hopefully we can take care of business on Friday.
It really will be. Coach, we play TCA. We've got some other things and some awards to talk about, but I know you've got some information about the series and all that.
So we played 25 times against TCA, and we're 16-9 all time against them, but the last three have been very close, very good ball games. By combined, and it's been won by a combined 16 points. And then, of course, I don't know if we remember 2 years ago, the monsoon that we played in.
Oh, yes.
And I think it was that a 1 point or a 2 point game?
7-6, something like that.
Yeah, it was down. We were up, and then they got a touchdown late with a weather-affected touchdown. Mm-hmm. And I guess you'd call it a white knuckler because you wouldn't know if it was a slobber knocker because it was too much rain. I mean, I haven't seen it until Friday night rain that hard. And we played in spots with rain that hard Friday night. Yep. Not rain delay, but we had a couple lightning delays too.
Mm-hmm. And so we had that one, and then we had last year's 4-point loss, 18-14. So, they do some good things. Both offensively and defensively. Last year we had a very talented offense, and they were able to slow us down. So, Coach Bull and I, we were talking about game planning and stuff, and we said, you know what, we got to go in and really respect these guys because the last 2 years they've gotten us. And so we're looking forward to Friday night being able to suit it up and play against those guys.
A region contest. We need to keep winning that second place finish, and we would have to have some help to finish first, but which could be possible. But USJ, let's be honest, has the tiebreaker on us right now. But second place finish, nothing wrong with that. We were in a position somewhat like that last year, and we went a long way. Be good to go a long way again this year.
Absolutely. And we've talked, I talked after a couple losses about things still being in front of us, our goals still being in front of us and attainable. And it starts with Friday. It starts with us showing up against the crosstown rival, but not put too much pressure on the game. Going out and executing our game plan. And, Coach, we talk about it every week. We want to run the football. We want to control the time of possession. We want to keep pressure on them, let our offensive line work, and let our depth kind of take over a little bit. And it's no different this week. We want to run the ball. We want to get Gage comfortable. We want to pick our shots, take our shots when they're there, and continue to see our defense improve. And that's what we're going to do. And we've had 2 good days of practice, and we'll have one more tomorrow before our walkthrough on Thursday. And it's an exciting time of the year because you're not looking ahead to the playoffs by any means. We still got a lot of work to do these last 2 weeks, but it starts getting a little colder. Practices start getting a little bit shorter, trying to take care of guys. Hey, buddy. Trying to take care of guys, and, we got some injuries going on. And so this is an exciting time of year, excited for the kids because this is what it's about. It's about them. And the opportunities are there, and we're not going to put too much pressure on it, but we're going to embrace it and go out and try to execute and win football games.
Absolutely. Let's emphasize this, Coach Phil. Last regular season home game, because we keep winning. We're not even going to talk about the last game, which is away, but we keep winning. We'll have more home game, but last regular season home game.
Yeah, it's special for seniors to get to play at home, and you never want it to be the last, but you know that last one is always, right there on the horizon, and a win Friday night would go a long way in getting us. Well, I think I can say this because we were looking at scenarios the other day. I think a win on Friday would secure that second seed. Yeah. So it is a big one, and that second seed would give us a home game. But we got to take care of business on Friday to give these seniors another chance to play at home.
And we've had some outstanding performances and a really tough decision. You had Walker's outstanding performance. You had Gage was 8 out of 12, which is 66% unless my math has gone wrong, or 66.7% passing. We had some defensive performances. But last week, and my math may not be correct, I should have written it down front. We have an award winner, and we'll tell you about him. Who got the West Tennessee Bone and Joint Player of the Game award?
The poll was on Twitter, and Jay Mosley was selected for that. 9 rushes, 165 yards, and a touchdown. And they didn't take away our middle, but they made it a little bit harder for us to attack the interior, and we were able to get the ball on the edge, and Jay did a great job executing along with our receivers blocking for that. So Jay, along with the WNWS Player of the Week, was also the Bone and Joint Player of the Week voted on by our Twitter followers.
And that's right. Tomorrow you can look at David Thomas's website of WNWS, and they came out and took a picture. Did they bring the big belt?
Oh, he got
out
a belt. They brought the belt, and then he actually gets to keep one. So that's exciting for Jay. And I was joking with him earlier about him not getting too many of those, but he's a guy we love and are excited about. Excited to have him 3 more years, and I feel like there's going to be some more awards in his future.
Guys, I don't usually do this at the end, but and it probably would be more apropos, but we not only have great kids from the 8th grade now, we have a few 8th graders up. They had a great season, but we've got some special senior class this year because we had so many, especially on offense, that graduated stuff. This outstanding group of young men that have waited their patience and done their due, and they are contributing.
Absolutely. And in that senior class, you had some 3-4-year starters and 3-4-year contributors. And, you look at our roster and our turnover and you expect a big drop-off. And these guys have really said, we're going to keep this going. We're going to take what those guys did for us, and we know and saw what it takes to kind of get back in the right direction with the winning season and playoff win against Friendship and all those things. And they found out and saw what it took and gave those guys work in practice, like Liam mentioned earlier, and just took the ball and ran with it. And hopefully that foundation keeps building. And our 8th graders that are there now are seeing that foundation, seeing what it takes to get us where we want to go, and bigger things are only going to happen.
Coach Phillips, your final thoughts.
Well, when you said seniors, one person came to mind that, we haven't mentioned a lot this year. He's dealt with some shoulder injury a little bit, and I think it's really starting to get better, and he's starting to get comfortable with it. He's been wearing a brace, and he's good. But Brandon Bennett, and he stood out today to us, especially in practice, because the last few weeks he's turned it on. And, being a senior and knowing, like we were talking a second ago, that you only, you got to play every game like it's your last, and you never know when your last play or last game is going to be. But Brandon is a great kid. He's a great player. And we know he's excited because I woke up Saturday morning and I had a message from Brandon at 2 a.m. that he was already wanting to know what the scheme was going to be for the next week. He was already looking forward to what can I be thinking about, what can I be doing to prepare myself for this next week. So I don't know. When you mentioned seniors, my mind went to we know we mentioned guys like we've had Lim and Tacker and CJ and Chance and we talk about Walker and all those other guys. But Brandon is one that stood out to me just because he's dealt with a lot. But, man, has he turned it on the last couple of weeks.
Absolutely. He is a special young man. And I'm going to tell you what, there was one play in the second half. He was like a stone wall right in the middle. They not only didn't gain any yardage, he bounced them back a little bit, and they lost some yardage. And you don't want to let the big man get his hands on you because he'll get you. Coach, your final comment.
I'm not gonna say too much along with those lines. I've kind of talked about our guys and what they mean to us in this program, and we're thankful to be in this situation because I've been here, been a part of some 2-3 win seasons and no playoffs, and I've been a part of a playoff or two, win or two, and so I've kind of seen both ends of the spectrum here. And it's not about us. It's about our guys, and it's about the guys that have given their all before us, and the Nathan Nashes, the Noah Chandlers, the guys that have laid this foundation. And we talked about that with homecoming this past week. And this is a storied program, and you know that. You've been around a long time, and we fight every day to get it back to where it used to be and where it belongs. And these guys and guys that have gone on before them are to thank for that. So that's what we want to do. It's not about us. It's about the program, and we truly believe that. And so that's why we come to work every day.
Well, at Liberty University there's a young man named Aldrich that is a coach, and he handles their defensive line and does quite a fine job. We got Brian Pearson, who played at Lambeth. I could go on forever because of the list of college athletes from Jackson Christian, and you know what, every one of them have turned into fine young men after college, and I'm proud to be with it. Coach Phillips, always glad to have you here. I still think your daughter needs to be on the air one day. She is good. Your son is it's a family.
Absolutely.
Football team, the kids, the whole bit. I want to invite you to come not only to Hub City Deli, who sponsors this, and what a wonderful job they do. We've only told you about a part of what they got. But come and see Jackson Christian School. Come and see their athletes. And you can come see the game, and you can watch it in the stands. We got people that are actually watching the broadcast in the stands on their iPhone. But guess what? It's going to be archived on YouTube, and you can go back from now to perpetuity and watch the games. And these are outstanding people. We got the best little band in America. I guarantee we do. And we've got great cheerleaders. But you know what? Even old Jason Shelton, I tease him because he was a Don Meyer Lipscomb guy.
Yep.
But you know what? He's one of us down here at Jackson Christian right now and doing a great job. The administration, and come and see a fine opportunity at Jackson Christian.
Hey, Coach, you mentioned it, but I don't want to go a show without it. Thank you to Hub City Deli.
Yes.
And they do take care of our guys when they come here and provide them with a meal. And this setup is great, and we are thankful to do this and have this opportunity.
Absolutely. Remind everybody that any rebroadcast, retransmission, or further use of this without the express written consent of Worthy Road Studios is prohibited. It's time to say thanks for your time. This time till next time. Good night, all.